So in this unit, I want to go back to something that I discussed many years ago. Okay, and I was listening to this surah 89. Okay, and in this surah is God in verse 3 says by the even and the odd. Okay, basically two words, even and odd. And so I'm going to have something before that, so we can actually put all this together. And at that time when I did this, we looked at the Quran and we looked at it and counted the number of surahs that have either an even number of verses or odd number of verses. The problem with that is that when you do that, chapter 9, both numbers 127 and 129 are both they are both odd numbers. Okay, so the addition of those two does not change that count. It's still the same. Okay, so that bothered me a lot for a long time, and I said, how is this connected to 9127? And today, with God's grace, we'll know, and then I'm going to explain it to you. So we've known about these index addition primes. That means you add an index to the prime and you get another prime. Okay, these are these kind of primes. And so the 114th one is, we know that 619 is the 114th prime number, and then it becomes 808 plus 6211, and it's equal to 7019. Okay, and immediately we look at this and we see that 62 has 11 verses. Chapter 62, that's what we are doing today. We'll do Al-Jum'ah. We do the Jum'ah prayers. Okay? See, so he's talking to us. God is talking to us. Observe the Jum'ah prayers. Don't play hooky. Don't give priority to other tasks that you have. They can wait. That's what he's telling you. Okay? 808 verse in the Quran happens to be 619. Why? Why is it? Did you ask yourself why? Why 619 and 619 here? Why? Okay. As seen above, 114th prime is 619. 7019 is 908th prime number. 903 happens to be the 748 composite, and 748 lonely prime is 9127, and Surah 9 has 127 verses. So this is again speaking to us and tells you that I'm not going to let you go. Don't do this. Those guys did it. Do not support them. Okay? Drop it. That's what God is saying. Okay, so 548 regular prime happens to be 7019, and 548 additive prime happens to be 9127. Okay, so we've gone through this, and so I verified this finally. Somebody told me that 7019 is actually the numerical value of 9127. Verse 9127 is that, and I didn't put this on for a long time. Then I saw more signs of this, so I said, well, what I have to do is I have to go and verify it myself. So I went and verified it, and it is actually the case that, and you see they have the same index. Okay, so anyway, 548 Gaussian prime happens to be 7997, and 532nd additive prime happens to be 8779. So this is 532 here. Okay, now we're coming to this. So mathematical problem. Find two pairs of prime numbers, add them up to A is equal to B times C, and the sum of the digits of the first pair is B, and that of the second pair is C. The sum of the indices of the first prime is D, which is equal to B times E, and so is the sum of the second prime pair. Okay? This problem that I just posed here is completely unsolvable. You cannot do this problem. I could have made it a little bit harder. I could have just removed the prime pairs, just any two numbers. Okay? There are 900 three-digit numbers. There are 1,000 numbers between 1 and 999. Okay? Well, the answers are 251 and 281, which is equal to 532, and 239 plus 293, which is equal to 532 again. And the indices of these are 54 and 60, these prime numbers, is equal to 114. And the other one is 52 plus 62, which is equal to 114 again. Okay. Note that 54 and 60 are the numbers of surahs with odd and even number of verses, and 52 and 62 are the number of surahs with odd and even number of verses, if we also count the 112 unnumbered opening statement, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay? This is amazing, but this problem that I just posed here, this problem is completely unsolvable. You can't solve this problem if I don't tell you. Okay? Because you have to have any combination of any two numbers that adds up to something, some given number. So you start with 999. Well, 999 is 2 plus 997. Okay? Then you go ahead and add those things up and see, okay, does 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 2, okay? Is that some number that I have to generate with some other combination of this? Under partitionable way of doing this. Okay. Do they add some given number? I don't know what that number is, but you have to know that in the Quran it tells you the number is 19. That's what it says. Okay? And as you see here, there's 251 and 281. Okay? 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So this guy's 19. 2 plus 3 plus 9 is 14. Obviously 293 is the permutation of that, so that's 14. 14 plus 14 is 28. 532 is actually what? B times C. You see that? So it's 19 times 28. Okay. The indices of these, as you see, 54 and 60, which adds up to 114, and 52 and 62 adds up to 114 also. Doesn't have to be that way. Mathematically, it doesn't have to be that way. And you're going to run into if you want to regenerate these numbers, you are going to run into this problem. That's why this is not based on the statistical things. Okay? And I want you to pay attention to that. This is not based on statistics. These are very specific numbers that are unique. Okay? So then we come down here, as I said, and we see that. We see why they are designed this way. Why there are odd numbers and even numbers in the number of verses. And that's why God actually takes an oath by the even and the odd. It shows the magnitude of this. Okay? But as you see through 8779, what happens is that it's actually connected to 548, which is the index of additive prime 9127. So 532 again tells you the same thing. It tells you that, yeah, it's 9 has 127 verses. So that's how the even and the odd are connected to 9127. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So as I said, You go through the Quran. It's a very enjoyable book to read, a very enjoyable book to study. Okay, you learn a lot, and you know that people who are transgressing God's system, approaching His limits, okay, those people are not going to succeed. They are going to fail miserably. Okay. So, again, we are grateful to God for giving us this, this knowledge that we have today, and so we'll be indebted to Him for eternity. I mean, this is a issue. As I said, these are windows to paradise that God is showing us. Okay, and I hope that we all stay worthy of this favor and this honor that God has given us, and inshallah, we'll be better servants of God. Okay, so I'll stop here and we'll